The Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake using Unreal Engine 5 is actually happening. No, it's not a remaster. Apparently, it's a full-on remake. And according to insiders, the reveal is happening sooner than expected. Will we get the reveal during the developer direct this month? We have a lot to cover, guys, so check the video chapters for easy viewing, and let's dive in. So yeah, there's been some rumblings about an Oblivion remake in the works, and today we have a brand new bit of information from Insider Gaming that adds more validity to the fact that we're getting a remake rather than a remaster. So they recently posted a report that said Virtuos is working on an unannounced remake using Unreal Engine 5, and then they went on to say that a developer's LinkedIn profile has revealed that Virtuos is working on an unannounced remake for a current generation console using Unreal Engine 5. They went on to say that it was first spotted by user Timmer222, and the information is coming from a technical art director at Virtuos' game's LinkedIn page, where the description of his current work simply reads unannounced UE5, PS5/Xbox Series X, and PC remake. The Insider Gaming report then went on to say that in December of 2024, several rumors began to circulate that Virtuos would be developing an Oblivion remake on Unreal Engine 5, which was further corroborated by leaker Xtasis, who said that the game could be announced at the heavily rumored or now confirmed Xbox Developer Direct, which is taking place at the end of January. The report then went on to say that a remake of Oblivion first popped up during the FTC investigation into Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, which the game was expected to release during the fiscal year of 2022, which obviously that didn't happen. So yeah, it seems like everything is really starting to stack up for the Oblivion remake. We've had multiple leaks, we've got multiple insiders saying that it's real and it's happening, and then we have the developer over on LinkedIn who, as you guys can see, definitely says that they're working on an unannounced remake for an upcoming game. So unless Virtuos is working on a completely different remake unrelated to Oblivion, it certainly sounds like Oblivion is going to get a remake rather than a remaster, which honestly sounds like it's great news. I personally would rather have a remake than a remaster. I'm really curious to see what another studio could do with a game like Oblivion or just Elder Scrolls in general, because all we've really known is Bethesda Game Studios and of course modders. So yeah, Virtuos is obviously a well-known game development studio. They've worked on games like Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. They contributed to the BioShock Collection, Dark Souls Remastered. They also helped port The Outer Worlds over to the Nintendo Switch. And then they also contributed to the art and development for the remastered collection of the original Spyro games. So yeah, they definitely have experience with remaking and remastering things. So I'm really not that concerned that it's them that's remastering or remaking Oblivion. I would be a bit concerned if it was like another studio that was untested, but like these guys live and breathe remakes and remasters. Scrolling through the list of games that Virtuos has contributed to is actually insane. They've contributed to games like Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Halo 5, Until Dawn, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Disney Infinity and Evolve, Just Cause 3, Mortal Kombat X, Quantum Break, FIFA. I mean, what have these guys not contributed to? Like, obviously there could be some stuff that goes wrong with the Oblivion remake. At the end of the day, it's an Elder Scrolls game, and without bugs and glitches, is it really Elder Scrolls? So yeah, things could go terribly wrong, but I don't think that's going to happen for the simple fact that Bethesda Game Studios doesn't really outsource their projects to other studios. The most notable was obviously Fallout New Vegas, and we saw what Obsidian did with that game, it being one of the best Fallout games ever made. And then we have them outsourcing the development for the Oblivion remake to Virtuos, who has a crap ton of experience porting and just remastering and remaking things. This could be a recipe for success of the likes that we have never seen before with an Elder Scrolls game. Like the last really good Elder Scrolls game was the last one that they made, which was Elder Scrolls Skyrim, but ever since then Bethesda Game Studios has kind of gone through a bit of turmoil with the last couple of games. Yes, I'm mainly talking about Fallout 76, but it's undeniable that Starfield didn't get the reception that they were hoping. So just the idea that Bethesda Game Studios is outsourcing the Oblivion remake to a company like Virtuos has me really hyped. So this brings us to today. We have official confirmation that the Xbox Developer Direct is scheduled for January 23rd at the end of this month, and it's being presented by the game creators themselves. We're set to learn about South of Midnight, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Doom the Dark Ages, but the aspect that is the most interesting is they said this, and I quote, and visit a surprise location to see another studio's brand new game. So immediately after reading that, the first thing that came to mind for me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys as well, was like, this has to be the Oblivion remake. It's happening, it's finally going to get revealed, and it's going to be at the January Developer Direct. Well, unfortunately, that is probably not going to be the case, as according to Xtasis, they're the ones who actually leaked that Oblivion remake was happening. They went on social media and said this, and I quote, the surprise game of the Xbox Developer Direct is not Oblivion. It will be time to investigate. Regardless of the event, Oblivion remake exists and is planned to release in 2025. So if we're not not going to get the Oblivion remake during the January developer direct, where does that leave us? And what is that surprise game? Well, it could be a ton of different things, but at least we can get to January knowing that it's not going to be the Oblivion remake there. The surprise game is something totally separate and just different. So what does that mean for the Oblivion remake? When are we going to get it revealed, and when is this thing going to get released? Well, if it's as real as Xstasis says it is, and it's getting revealed this year, well, there's only one developer direct in January, and then the next thing that Xbox plans to do is their big Xbox game showcase that doesn't take place until June of 2025. So if it's still getting released this year, then that would put a reveal during the Xbox game showcase in June, and then an official release sometime after that. Honestly, them saving an Oblivion remake for the Xbox game showcase sounds like a better strategy anyway, because like you've got so many people that love Elder Scrolls, and having a remake of a game as hyped as Oblivion and just Elder Scrolls in general is a really good strategy for them. So while it is unfortunate that we won't get a reveal in January, the fact that it could be revealed in June and still released this year is really exciting. So with all of that being said, let's talk about when the release date for the Oblivion remake could be. Obviously, as you guys know, all of the insiders as well as the LinkedIn page for the developer said that it's releasing in 2025. And now that we know that it's not actually going to get revealed during the developer direct in January, it means we'll have to wait until around June to get the official reveal during the Xbox game showcase. So right there, it would put us at the later half of 2025, sometime between June and December. And if we can kind of anticipate that, let's say GTA 6 comes out in September or like around October, then there's really just like a couple of windows. They could either release it sometime in November, possibly competing with Call of Duty, or they could just say screw it and release it in July if they have the game ready by then. But I would say if the game is still releasing in 2025, I would say anywhere between October and November would be the ideal release date. But again, things could change. If GTA 6 gets announced and it's delayed by like, let's say a year, then releasing the Oblivion remake in the fall would actually be a really good strat. But as of right now, GTA 6 kind of owns the fall release date for games. Like there's not going to be a single game that announces and releases in the fall knowing that GTA 6 will come out near there. Now there's also the possibility that we actually don't get the Oblivion remake this year and they decide to push it back until 2026. Obviously there's no pressure of them getting the game out. It's not like they've announced it or revealed anything. So really the ball's in their court. Now if we do get a 2026 release date, that'll be kind of disappointing because I kind of want it in 2025, but I think releasing it in like the first half of 2026 would also be okay. So next up, one thing that I do find interesting is the fact that they're starting off with an Oblivion remake rather than doing something like Morrowind. Like let's say they start with Oblivion and that turns out to be super successful. Are they gonna like do things in reverse? Like if Oblivion's successful, then they'll go and remake Morrowind, and then if Morrowind is successful, they'll go remake Daggerfall. Like it does seem a bit weird. If you look at other remakes in the industry, they typically go by like the first one and the second one, and then so on and so forth. Like obviously I'm not complaining that they're starting with Oblivion. I loved Oblivion, but going in reverse does seem a bit weird. Now, if we do get a successful Oblivion, what does that mean for the future? Like, should we expect future Elder Scrolls games to be fully remade in Unreal Engine 5? Or if the Oblivion remake is successful, could we expect some things from like the Fallout series? Perhaps Virtuos is going to be able to tackle a Fallout 3 remake. Who knows? Maybe in the future we'll get like an Elder Scrolls remastered collection or something like a Fallout remastered collection from Virtuos. That would be absolutely insane. But again, the only thing that matters right now is whether or not the Oblivion remake will be successful or not. That game will be the determining factor on whether or not we get future Elder Scrolls or Fallout remakes in the future. Obviously, I want Bethesda Game Studios to be kind of focused on getting Elder Scrolls 6 released, but I think them co-developing and helping out with other Elder Scrolls games getting remastered, same with the Fallout games getting remastered, that'd be really cool. But Bethesda Game Studios' main focus should always be on Elder Scrolls 6, making that the best game ever. This should really be their redemption arc, and hopefully it is. But that's gonna wrap it up with this video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on. And until next time, this has been Wes, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.